So we do a lot of cartoons. Like she just got out of the kind of got out of the Bluey phase.
What?
Bluey phase.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
We used to do a lot of Bluey.
Here, stay with me. I'm gonna do a quick video. I have a summer kid helping me, okay?
Oh Lord.
And this is for Connor, so you can get familiar with what we'll be presenting with next time it's open. But here's a big conference room. It'll be E-Town. Bowling Green will be on this one. Huge stuff. Can't wait to get you back, Connor. But he's super nervous. Like he doesn't put himself out there. Super respectful, good kid. You know, friend of the family. Really great values, right? So I told him this. You know, when I thought it was Tuesday, I said it. So he was like, "Oh no, are you serious? I don't have to be there for that." I said, "Yeah, you have to be there for that." So I was gonna make him come in here and present with me. He didn't have to do this, but just to be in front of everyone and that intimidation, just to conquer a fear, right? But it turned out it was today, and he has he plays on a national travel team, so he's in Georgia playing in a tournament today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But did I tell you what happened this week that I wasn't really happy about?
Air conditioner.
Besides that,
Besides air conditioner, you want to add some of those there? It's got 82 degrees in the house. What?
get a new watch.
Oh, that's the big one. That's the 42, isn't it?
44.
44. Okay, what happened? I thought they're waterproof.
My screen.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it was coming off.
Oh really?
Yes. And so like I was talking to Steve about it and I was telling him about it and he goes, mine did that. I was like, oh, look, why did it do that? What happened? And he goes, battery blew up inside your watch. And I was like, wait, what? And he goes, the battery expanded and popped your screen off. He goes, that's what happened to mine. And I went to go have it fixed and they said, we can't fix it. Your battery exploded. You have to get a new one.
Isn't there a recall on that or anything yet?
I don't know. It's a series 1.
Yeah, I think that's what this one is. It's the cheaper ones, right?
Watch it.
Or maybe it's series.
It's on the back.
Watch series 3, 42.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I know. I just did the same thing. I just started rubbing mine too. Yeah.
Series 6 SE.
Oh, nice. Hashitashi 5000. Yeah, I see. Well, I have alligator skin on mine, made by real Vietnamese sweatshops. Yeah.
I have a case that's coming in to go over top of my screen, and I have a new band coming in. My family like is a bunch of hippies, so look that. What's the favorite color? Rainbow. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Found a tie-dye band for like $5, and I was like, I'm buying it. So
There
it
you
should
go.
be in today.
Nice.
And I'm
Nice. I need to order my wife's birthday present. Aren't there some new AirPods out? AirPod Pros, like they're static or something like that? Has some static thing on them.
I don't know. This is literally the first Apple product that I had bought myself.
Yeah.
And I have an iPad, I have the Series 1, I've got my Apple phone, and I have AirPods.
Nice. I know when it hits, you go all out, right?
I didn't buy them. They were gifts.
That's good. That's
Like
even
we
better. That's
switched
even better.
to Verizon and I got my iPhone. And my iPad was a Christmas gift. My watch was a Christmas gift. My AirPods were a Christmas gift. This is literally the first Apple product I bought.
Nice. Nice.
It started, it's recording. You just have to, I have the participant list pulled up, so all you have to do is email people. You know how to do that?
Mhm.
So their name will pop up and it'll say admit and you click it.
Okay.
Or if there's several of them that pop up at once, you click the button that says admit all.
Okay.
And David is here with food.
Awesome.
So
And he said he's gonna be everyone's favorite person today.
the salad that's up there is actually not there. You don't see it.
It's about to disappear, isn't it?
It's going to be
It's about to
gone.
disappear.
I don't see this out.
You don't see the salad. It's not there. It's non-existent.
Does the other market centers, do they just join the same way? Lydia? Do the other market centers just join the same way as participants? Thank you.
I wish you could help you, but I'm afraid I won't be able to help, but I'll do what I can. If anybody's gonna hit a wrong button, you can blame it on me. Hand me the mouse for a second, you can blame whatever happens on me, yeah.
They just all have to keep their expectations
Yeah, that's
little
right.
low, little low. Comfortable with being uncomfortable, that's for sure. She needs to come back and show me how to get to the slides. Doesn't look like I should have did that.
It'll come back.
I just walked away.
Hey, where's the slideshow?
Oh, shit. Yeah, you might need that, huh?
Please.
No.
Yeah, you're a speaker.
I'm not a speakerphone type person. At least that's what my mommy tells me. Because I have no filter. My mother is the same way. I had her on speakerphone one time and she said something and I was like, hey mom, you're on speaker. And she was like, take me off. And then I
Yeah.
saw like devil come out inside and I was like,
Sure.
whoo, yes, ma'am. Guy's not here.
It's great.
Kentucky.
We're gonna put some music on while we bring some people in.
Yeah.
Everybody must have heard I was teaching today. We got one attendee. And they're on payroll.
I'm here.
Are you attending?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh. Good, good, good.
See, we have more.
I saw this slide.
Hi, Tammy.
Warned everybody.
I'm presenting today. Don't you love it?
You're presenting?
Dang.
Am I gonna be able to see these slides so I can teach?
You might be able to.
I'm in the car.
I know. You've got a long way to go.
Right?
Guy didn't.
We gotta go where the food is on.
Right? All right, I'm turning it over to Jody. I'm gonna let him teach. Okay.
We're gonna reference back.
One time see this.
All right, so we've got it. At the top, it will pop up
Hey, Tammy.
who's coming in.
Hey, I got a question. Am I gonna be able to see these slides from my computer screen? Right?
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
Okay, only because I'm in the car driving or being chauffeured.
Do you see the screen right now? Do you see me?
I see you.
So do you see me or the Ignite screen now?
I need to see the Ignite screen with the lady holding the coffee.
You do see that? Okay, good.
As long as I can see that, that's good. Otherwise, I can pull mine up and I can look at mine, but whatever.
We'll give a few more minutes for some people to join us. We've got one person ran out to grab their participant guide real quick. What's up, KW8 Sale? Good to see you guys in the back. And welcome, Patrick's iPhone. We've got food here on site. Somebody let everybody go ahead and grab some food too real quick. And then while you're feeding your faces, we're gonna let David talk for a second.
We had a class together, it was a TC, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Gosh, doing well, last time I saw you, it was Dairy Queen.
Right.
I mean, I still babysit at home and then hope it drives in.
Right, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you said that. It's gonna take you a while to figure it out. It's gonna be like late night, oh, yes. Fantastic. Something home. Yeah.
All right, 2-minute warning, 2-minute warning. We're gonna get this kicked off.
How much time do I have? I don't want to overstep my bounds because I can get to talking and I like to talk. So
How about 2 minutes?
you cut me off. You stop. Or you just give me the sign, okay?
I'll give you the hook.
Yeah.
All right. Tammy, you just gonna jump in anytime you want?
Whatever you want to do.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Or, it's like you can just hand it off and go, Tammy, or I'll just say, I'll take this for me. Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just gonna wing it.
Few things make me as nervous as winging it.
Jody, we'll just rip the tags off the pillows. It's okay. It's really not illegal.
Oh my gosh,
You just broke out in a sweat over that, didn't you?
I'm
You
dripping.
did. I'm gonna buy, you know what? I'm gonna bring some pillows down there. We're gonna rip the tags off. We're gonna do it.
All right, sounds good. Fancy pillows.
Buy you some fancy pillows.
All right, I'm gonna slide this chair over just a little bit out of the way. And at KW Owensboro, we have from Bluegrass Home Inspections, David Johnson, who sponsored today's on-site session with some food for us. And I'm gonna let him talk and introduce himself real quick. I say real quick, but like we got somebody coming in. KW Heartland.
Yeah, we did. We
There
had
we go.
2 bits.
Got him. All right, go ahead, David. Sorry.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, guys, David Johnson, Bluegrass Home Inspections, and also own Bluegrass Operations. So, of course, I can't fix anything in the house that I've inspected, but say you're listing and you've had some items come back to be fixed, Bluegrass Operations can take care of those things for you. Okay, real big. And the big thing about it is we can get you rather quick, not a month out like a lot of other contractors right now. So expedient, we make sure it's fast. So on our inspection side of it, Bluegrass Home Inspections is set aside big time because I've been in construction for over 20 years. I've been in inspection row for 12 plus. So I've seen what can go wrong. And a lot of things on this residential stuff, this is baby stuff. This is easy. Okay, so I can break it down and bring a lot of common sense to the deficiencies. Easy on the wording, but very specific too. Does that make sense? Right? So I'm not like scaring people. Right? Bring them down. It's not that big of a deal. Everything's fixable, right? And that's what I can bring to the table, especially when I know materials like I do. Okay. So I can talk to people in a manner where I know means and methods. I know how it's built because I built houses and commercial and residential stuff. I've been on the big $75 million villas. This is easy stuff for me. Okay, easy stuff. And what I can bring to the table is experience that not a lot of other people have. So it separates Bluegrass from a lot of other competition. Okay. Does anybody have any questions right off the bat? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe you itching? Nothing? Perfect.
Yeah, if I see some settling and some big cracks, can I call you to diagnose it?
100%. 100%. Yes. I mean, that's what I worked side by side with structural engineers for the last decade. I mean, just side by side, the tri-state's greatest structural engineers. I know the good ones and the bad ones, right? They're really good. They quiz me. When the riverfront inspection goes on for the city of Owensboro, Owensboro Fire Department goes out with their boat. I'm on the boat climbing up inside the riverfront. Structural engineer's not going there. He's asking me, hey, what do you see? What would you do with that? How would you fix it? I'm being quizzed. Okay, that's how much time I've got with these engineers. Okay, so that's a big difference, right? So I have the knowledge and I never overstep my bounds, right? I'm not an SE and I'll tell you, I'm not gonna overstep, right? But a lot of times when some deficiencies are called out by requiring a structural engineer to comment, it's not needed. That's not, people scare and are afraid and don't have the experience, so they don't know, right? So Bluegrass Home Inspections brings that experience to the table and it shows, okay? So I hope everybody's doing well, getting some food, and please, anybody on the Zoom call have any questions by chance? Okay, we'll take that as a no. All right, good deal, good deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Thank you, guys.
That's David from Bluegrass Home Inspections and Bluegrass Services. What's the name of the contract inside?
Bluegrass Operations.
Bluegrass Operations.
Check out the webpage, Bluegrass Home Inspections LLC. It's a great webpage. Clients can go on there and schedule their own inspection, add their own ancillaries. I'm also termite certified. I'm in Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. I do commercial, I do permanent foundation inspections. I do it all. It's the one-stop shop. I've spent a lot of time getting certified and everything, so we do it all, right? These structural engineers that I've worked side by side with, they certify my reports. That's why I do permanent foundations as well, okay?
For manufactured.
I'm sorry.
For
Yes, for manufacturing. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys are eating, so it doesn't mean that I won't call on you for some participation. I know you like to be quiet, and if you take a bite, that doesn't get you out of it. So my apologies in advance. It's the final session of Ignite. Welcome, everybody. And today we're going to talk about planning your future. So as we do every day, let's hear about the progress from the success system from your last session. Putting you on the spot. I'm going to go on the Zoom real quick to KW Heartland. And I'm just going to ask you guys first, if you don't mind, to speak up really loud or come up to the mic. Share some of your successes from using your success system since the last session.
You're closer, go for it. Are we muted?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, we're not muted.
Okay.
Awesome.
So as far as my success, I've done really well on my follow-ups of like just making sure that I follow up with people that I just kind of talk to and nurturing them. And with that, I was able to get, a potential client with that. So, it's helped out a lot.
Good job. And KW Excel from Zoom. Someone there want to share how they've had success in the using the success system since our last session? There's like one person there, you're on the spot.
I will be back. I'm gonna go do stuff for this basket.
Okay.
I don't know if you're still gonna be here, but I'll be back later.
I'm gonna make some phone calls at some point today, so when this is done, I'm probably gonna make some phone calls.
There you go.
Sorry, what was that?
What type of success have you had using the success system in Ignite since our last session?
That's like the one where it's like 10 calls, 10 blank, whatever. Yeah, I found it pretty useful with following up with people, and just because like sometimes with that first call you might not get them, so like you call them again the next day, something like that. That repetition I feel like is really helped us.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. And I'll call on one person from here. This group in Owensboro, one of you want to share? Hayden.
Yeah, so like, I do the same thing with the 10 social media stuff. Like I started going on there and telling people, like some of my friends, like happy birthday, it's their birthday. And like 10 contacts, just like having a number every day to call.
Using the 10-5-1 social media plan.
Not as a say, but like making myself like go on there and like stuff like that.
So let me ask y'all this, and I was talking to Bailey earlier. What challenges are you encountering using the success system? And the reason it's in here to ask the question, but I was going to ask it anyway, because we have several top producing agents that come stand in front of our new agents and talk and tell, you know, how to be successful, what things to do, what things they have done. And then still people don't do it. So my question is, what's the challenge in doing the success system?
That's the 10-5.
The whole thing, the 10 conversations, adding the 10 contacts to your database and the 10 handwritten notes every day.
Shoot, just remembering to do it, like try not to be caught up in like what you got going on currently. Remembering to do it for the lead generation. That would be fine.
Remembering to do it. Okay. That's fair.
Handwritten notes. I've never done that, but I do all the other ones.
Yeah. Any reason why you just didn't know or just don't do it?
I mean, like by handwritten notes, like, I mean, like something you mail out or.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Like 10 thank you notes, announcements, express gratitude, birthday cards, those types of things.
I guess the reason why I haven't is because I'm still building my database and.
Yeah.
I guess gonna have to like share that, and then Grace helps with the 42 touch system.
So you're using some leverage too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's important. That's why I asked, and that's why I put you on the spot. So, our outline for today, we're going to talk about setting your sights on your big future and having a smart money business and committing to the success system for life, and then making a learning plan that's going to help you be a top producer also. Tammy, anything that you want to say before we jump in too much further? You're on mute.
Sorry, I had to find my unmute button. I had to find my unmute button. No, I'm just listening to what you're saying about, you know, the big agents that stand in front of some of our newer agents, talking about the things that they do and what keeps some of our newer agents from doing that. You know, and a big thing is about call reluctance and getting past that call reluctance, and also that, you know, some of our newer agents, sometimes it's like we're always getting ready to get ready, always wanting that system or that script or that card or anything that you're using to for your success system to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I've been on the phone before and I stumble over my words and I'll just stop and say, you know what, let me just start over. Like, hi, Mr. Young, it's Tammy Ramsey. And they are so forgiving, or they'll just get a chuckle out of it because you're stumbling over your words, or, you know, you rip that card up 5 times and then you start rewriting it again. So don't expect everything to be perfect. Just do it. You just got to do it. And don't sit and get ready. Just do it. Just put yourself out there. So.
Absolutely. It's never going to be perfect. It won't be perfect today and it won't be perfect any day, but it's just important to just do it. Well said.
Thank you.
Today is the final day of Ignite. You've learned so much, and I'm sure instinctively know that there's much more to experience and learn along the way, which of course is normal. Real estate changes every day. Nothing stays the same. So you're going to learn a lot. You're going to experience a lot. And more importantly, you have to be adaptable to the changes because they just keep growing. Ignite's giving you the foundation for building a big business, and you will embark on that journey after today. And today we'll close the transaction segment by both looking back and looking forward. So that's why I want to make sure you had your participant guides with you, because we will reference some stuff from the beginning as well. So we'll follow up on the previous session on getting to the close by getting paid. Who doesn't want to get paid? I like getting paid. And also by the end of today, not only will you complete Ignite, but you also understand the business or understand the importance of running a smart money business to achieve a successful business. We will review the success system to understand wins and opportunities, and we'll identify different learning paths available in the design of your future plan. I need a little like beeper to tell me when to turn the slide, like a little ding, you know what I mean?
I'm your
Hello?
girl. I love that part. Beep.
Yes. I need the cheat. So let's begin by setting our sights on the big future for ourselves, because that's what we're all aiming for. That's why a lot of us get into real estate, because it's unlimited opportunity. There's a line in The Millionaire Real Estate Agent: to have a better chance of hitting the target, aim high. Aiming high begins with thinking big, and that's what today's session is mostly about. Doesn't serve you it doesn't serve you well in any way to aim low or to play small. If I say play small, do you guys know what I'm talking about? All right, I need a volunteer to read the quote on the screen. Bailey, thank you.
How you think matters. How you think in the beginning really matters.
What are your thoughts on this quote? How you think matters, how you think in the beginning really matters. What's that mean to you?
Just your thoughts in the beginning. Lead to
You don't want to start bad habits early.
Yeah. And it really is contagious. So like being positive and having a go-getter attitude really does bring you results that build upon more results. And being around those kind of people will lift you up, and being around the opposite kind of people will bring you down and affect your abilities.
Try that.
When we say that thinking matters, we're talking about mindset usually. Throughout Ignite, we've talked about the importance of mindset, because mindset matters, not just today, not just during Ignite, it matters every day. Sometimes your mindset turns to doubt, disappointment, or fear, and these are the times to be aware of and quickly correct those things. It's within your control. Now let's examine where you are now compared to where you're at the beginning of Ignite. And take a moment to really think about this. How is your mindset different from about 3 or 4 weeks ago whenever Ignite first started? Do you even see a difference? In what way? Courtney. Yep, no problem. I'll help. In what way is your mindset different today than it was 3 or 4 weeks ago when we started Ignite?
I've learned a lot and I'm a lot more motivated to put like what I've learned in action.
Learned a lot and more motivated. That's awesome. Nice. Less limiting beliefs. Jaden, one more.
Just having big goals, push them.
Having big goals and pushing for them. Do you feel like your real estate job is aligned with what you want to do in your heart and that you're fulfilling your purpose? It's deep, right? Here's a harder question for you. And because you're new, you have to be careful, right? Are your feet ready to do the actions that need to be done in order for you to have a successful business?
That's a deep question.
So it's simple, but it's not easy, right?
Yeah.
So the things that it takes to be successful, like, I'm gonna just throw this out there. Writing 10 handwritten cards, right? How do you find 10 reasons to send a card today? So I'll cheat, right? There's 5 of you sitting right here, so I could send 5 cards to each of you for coming to this class today. Say, hey, thanks for coming to class. It was great seeing you. Maybe you go to the gym and you have somebody that's a great accountability partner to make sure you show up on the days you're supposed to be there. Send them a card. Or maybe you get good service at the store from one particular cashier, right? And they're at the bottom rung of that store's ladder. So you go get some donuts or something and a thank you card, and like, hey, here, this is for you because you always do a great job and provide good customer service, and it means a lot to me. And you just change their whole day. So in your experiences with people, what's 10 ways that you can brighten someone's day with a card? And nobody hardly ever does cards anymore. And I love that it's old fashioned, because when you do it, it's a quick win because nobody does it anymore.
Yeah, the big thing about cards, and this ties so greatly into mindset, is that, and I love cards. I absolutely love cards. Is you change your mindset that you're always looking, oh, I got a present. Well, let me send a thank you card. Oh, well, we're gonna have a party. Well, let's send an invite. So that's a card. It is, you look for a reason, or you look for a way to catch somebody doing something nice. We're all about like, oh, look, I caught him, not giving me good service. So there goes your tip. Or I caught him not, being nice to me. He was rude to me. You have the mindset that I'm gonna catch somebody doing something nice, and I'm gonna call them out. I'm gonna call them out on it. And you call them out by way of sending a card. And like Jody said, you will be amazed. You will be able to send more than 10 cards a day, and you'll have to parcel it out unless you want to send more than 10, and you can. And a good example is we ran out of toilet paper in the office. We forgot to order it, and we have a little bargain place behind us. And I said, well, I'm gonna run over there and get toilet paper. So I ran over there, and that they don't open until 9:30, and I got there at like 9:15. I was like, oh, and I turned around to walk back, and the guys were walking in, and they go, what do you need? And I said, oh, I'll be back. Got on until 9:30. He goes, oh, no, we'll let you in early. I said, no, it'll be okay. I'll come back. He goes, no, what do you need? So I have that and some paper towels, because we were having them ordered and they were being delivered. And I walked the card back over that day and said, thank you so much. You didn't have to let me in early before you even turn the lights on or have the register open. And people don't do that nowadays. But thank you for helping us. And every time I go in there now, they remember my name, and they are just over the top, just kind of nice to us and nice to me, because I said, thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to. You could have said, yeah, come on back at 9:30. So you just have to catch people doing nice things, and people don't catch people doing nice things. We catch each other doing everything wrong. It's a mindset.
That's a great example. We lost you for just a little bit there where you went into robot mode because of signal.
Yeah.
We caught 99.9% of it. And I'll also say this, in this session, we are going to talk about money, but also don't think about just the commission that you get from one transaction. Think about the lifetime value of a client. When you do these things that Tammy is talking about, you're creating customers for life, right? You're not trying to sell one house one time. You want to create a client for life who loves you and refers you to their friends and family members, coworkers forever. So how you show up for that one person matters in so many different ways that you won't fully understand until it starts happening. And then you're like, wow, they just sent me their sister. And then the sister sends you a brother, and then the brother sends you a coworker. And now you're like 5 layers deep and getting paid from that first relationship. And sometimes you didn't spend $1 to even get that first relationship. So that lifetime value is exponentially good for you. Take a second to write down real quick in your participant guide. What's one way you've already adjusted your thinking from when you started in the beginning to today? One way that you've adjusted your thinking from when you started to today. Oh, how do I go backwards? There we go. All right, somebody want to share one? Jaden does.
I was gonna say, like, I really would like to do stuff with me, like, as long as you're getting 1% better each day, like you'll grow into something like really a lot bigger in the future, over time.
Yeah. Jaden said getting 1% better every day and what that grows into over time.
Right.
It's a great example. You know, I was fortunate a long time ago to hear a story from one of my mentors who talks about the value in being just a little bit better. And he used the example, and maybe this is why it stuck with me, from the horse racing industry. The horse that wins first place gets paid exponentially more money than the horse that finishes second place. And it doesn't matter if it finishes by just a nose or if it finishes by 2 or 3 lengths. The pay is a lot more. So if we're getting 1% better, what that shows up for your earnings in the long term is a lot. And it just made it go full circle for me.
Yeah.
All right, keep it moving, keep it moving. If I talk too much, Tammy, you can let me know, or they can let me know.
You just let me know when you want me to start talking. 'Cause, you know, that's my gift.
Yeah, no problem there, right? Remember that the Keller Williams belief system, along with the 6 personal perspectives, will help you keep your mindset strong and positive. And I want to read through these real quick because they are important, and we do need to hear them 4 million times over the course of the year so that they can become ingrained in us, so that whenever we work with our customers, we do give them the best service possible. So the KW belief system, the Y4C2Ts, win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing, customers always come first, commitment in all things, communication, seek first to understand, creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more, trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. Does anybody have a favorite one that they want to mention? Yeah.
Mine's always integrity, do the right thing. Because, and I tell the agents on my team, you don't need to know the next 10 right things to do. You just need to know the next one. And I'm not going to get all spooky religious on everybody. But there's a Bible verse that says, I will be a lamp unto your feet. It doesn't say I'll be a spotlight on the football field, because God doesn't want you to see the whole picture. He just says a lamp, because if you think about a lamp unto your feet, it's just that couple little feet in front of you, because the story's supposed to unfold slowly and you're supposed to trust and let him guide you. So you just need to know the next one right thing. So stay in your 3-foot circle and just trust and do the next one right thing. And it keeps everything very simple for you. And that to me is what integrity is. Do the next one right thing. And after that, do the next one right thing. And it'll all unfold for you the right way.
Can I tie that in for real estate too? With, you know, as a new agent, you think, okay, I can't wait to get 50 clients or have 50 sales or have 100 deals under my belt in a year. But really, today, you really couldn't handle that level of success. So first, you got to learn how to get the first one. And then you got to learn how to handle to do 2 and 3 deals at one time. Then you got to learn how to do 5 or 10 at one time. And then when you wake up at the end of the year, you're like, oh man, I just did 96 deals. But it starts slowly and it's a process. And if you tried to get to 96 on day 1, the fire hose will just drown you. So a lamp into your feet, 3-foot circle. Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy. Good job. It's just me and you here, Tammy, so you can bring those up if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm going on a fishing trip, guys. And I guess we're all here like in Joe's bait shop, bunch of little crickets here. I need y'all to talk.
I'll try to get them to talk more. I'm gonna move that over just a little bit. So revisit your value proposition. You've checked on your mindset. Now look back to your original value proposition. You spent nearly 4 weeks. You should have spent nearly 4 weeks doing your daily success system and that time like communicating with your contacts. And then what type of level or what level of service do you want to provide back to your client? What's going to set you apart from any other real estate agent? What's going to keep you from being a commodity that's replaceable with just a phone call or the click of a button where somebody clicks, show me this house on Zillow, right? So ask yourself, does my value proposition truly reflect who I am, the value I bring, the benefit my clients will experience from working with me? I'm just giving you some time to think about that. And am I confident sharing my value proposition with my contacts? If not, how can I make it easier to express my value? I'm going to give you one of the quotes that I like to run my business by, especially over the last 3 years. And you can steal this if you want. You know, it's not original to me. It comes from Gary Vee. But whoever gives the most value wins. It's really that simple. Whoever gives the most value wins. So there's a lot of things that are important in real estate, like speed to lead, right? Being the first person in front of them. But at the end of the day, in our market where we're at, there's 250-ish agents, and so they can call anybody. So if you're in competition, and sometimes you will be, how are you going to give the most value? Because whoever gets the most value is going to win. Has anybody changed their value proposition over the course of Ignite? We have a lot of team agents in Owensboro. So I feel like theirs is kind of like structured out.
There towards the beginning, I was thinking about getting the sale versus there towards the beginning, and that's slowly changed because it ends up working out better. Just focus on the clients and make the sale.
Yeah. A lot of times when you go to show a house, you're really there to develop rapport with the client, to build trust, because the odds of you selling the first house you go show somebody or the second house, pretty slim. But what you are doing is showing them that you will show up for them. You will be prepared. You will have the information. And if it gets complex, you know where to get answers from. And that's how they'll begin to trust you. All right, let's talk about our big life. Looking back at your Ignite session 1 in the very beginning in your participant guide, where you envisioned a big life for yourself, take a few moments to reread what you wrote in your participant guide about your vision, your future, and your big life. So refer back to session 1. Were you guys in session 1? Okay. So while you think about that, Tammy, I'm going to ask you, how has your vision and your future and your big life, how's that changed from when you were a new agent compared to where you are today?
Oh, gosh. Well, so it's gotten much more deep. It was pretty, for lack, being very transparent, was kind of superficial when I first got into real estate. It was just, hey, if I can just reproduce my nursing salary and, sell enough houses to reproduce that, I'll be successful. I'll consider myself successful, because that's what I thought it needed to say. Because I had just left a successful nursing career. And it was like, okay, that's my big vision. That's my big future. I didn't really know how to think big. Keller Williams is who taught me how to think big. And I didn't know all these possibilities were out there. Keller Williams also teaches you to get big. You got to go small. So I will tell you guys, my big why is like one sentence: to make yes always an option. That's it. It's not complex. It's not like some profound, big, gigantic, long run-on sentence. My big why I get out of bed every single morning is to make yes always an option. No matter what I want to do for my family, for my life, yes is always an option. No matter what it is.
Why is that important to you?
Because I want to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and however big I want it to be.
Great answer. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Because I don't like the word no. Yeah, so if you really want to know the truth, I don't like the word no. I don't like the word maybe or we'll see, because those usually mean no. And I don't like that word.
We can see through those pretty quickly when somebody gives us that maybe, we'll see, I don't know. That just means no, just say no.
Your mama said, "Can I have some candy?" Yeah, when your mama says, "Can I have some candy?" We'll see. That usually means no, you're not getting any candy. So, yep.
Did any of
And
you
your why changes. And Jody, you can speak to that. Your why can change as your season of life changes. So,
Yeah, it really does. So like you said, you're replacing a nursing salary and I was replacing a bank salary. That was step one. That was the big thing.
Yeah.
So I know there's a spot in here for me to share my big why, but for me, I want to make sure that my daughters have a much easier life than what I had growing up. Everybody wants to give more to their kids. And I want to make sure that they have the means and the freedoms to chase their dreams, pursue their passions. And it's my job to give them those opportunities to do that. So if they live a good life based on the work that I put in today, no matter how many sacrifices I make, I've done a good job.
so why is that important to you?
I didn't lack really for anything as a kid, but I know there's a lot of things that I did not have. And so I've set up the vision in my head for what I want life to look like for my daughters. And I feel like it's within my means to provide it. And that probably is a little bit of ego also. So I know that if I show up and do my job, then they can have the things that I feel like they want or are important, even if they don't know they need it yet.
Yeah.
You get into
So
that.
the reason I ask those questions and the reason Jody asked me that question is that when you are trying to discover your big why, you ask yourself those questions. Why is that important to me? Or you have someone ask you that question. Why is that important to you? And when you answer, they may need to ask you, well, why is that important to you? So that you kind of whittle it down until you get to why are you really getting out of bed in the morning? Because that big why, when you don't really feel it, is what's going to keep you going when you get discouraged and you've made those calls and you're not seeing, the fruits of your labor in that moment, because we all want instant gratification. Your big why is what is going to keep you going. And when you have someone that holds you accountable, they're going to remind you gently, hey, remember what you told me your big why was? Here's why you're going to keep making those calls and continue to do the work, because you said your big why was this.
Yeah. And when it comes to big why, that's where it really comes together, where if it's important, you'll find a way. And if it's not important, you'll find an excuse. And if it's tied to your big why, you will find a way. What did you guys write in the beginning for what you envisioned for your life? What's your big life or your big why?
I think mine was, if I remember right, down on my paper.
Sure.
Was to have like passive income. You know, help others with that. Right, like take like, cause at that, like, be free enough to like not go to a job and, like,
You can have income. Let's say you can have opportunity or you can have security, but you can't have both. And so when you're out here generating your own income, you have that ability to create the money that it takes to help the other people, like passive income. Why is it important for you to have passive income?
to have like a stable life, you know, not have to work a job.
Why is it important for you to have a stable life?
Have a stable life. Because I feel like life is so much more than just like work. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Or am I sounding crazy over here?
No.
No, not at all. Because everybody, you say that, but everybody's probably thinking the same thing at the same time, right?
Right.
Nobody wants to be cornered for 40 hours a week. Real estate agents especially, I guess. Some people do. There are personality styles that that's a good fit for. But as real estate agents, we don't want to be cornered for 40 hours a week, told how much we're going to make, and there's really not much we can do to improve that. We want the opportunity to go out and make as much money as we can get. So that does make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you one layer deeper. Why is that
One
important
layer
for you?
deeper.
Yeah.
Because I guess my big fear in my life is to be the 4-year-old who's going through a midlife crisis, who's like getting divorced and driving around Dodge Caravan. With the stickers on the back for my kids. To put it in simple terms. There you go.
If it happens, it wouldn't be that bad. You just rebuild.
That's true.
Because, if you have a bad day or a bad situation, you're not stuck with it. Time changes everything.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I need a volunteer to read the quote on the screen. Tammy, will you read it?
I'll read it.
I'll let
One
Randy-
thing all high achievers have in common is they are working for a big why. The big why is about having a purpose, a mission, or a need that in turn gives you focus. Gary Keller, the MREA.
So we introduced the concept of the big why on day one. And we know that it takes time for each of us to think about and determine a concrete big why for ourselves. Moving forward after Ignite, it's essential to have a clear picture of your big why, since it will keep you motivated and stay on track with your goals. As the quote states, it's your purpose, mission, or need that gives you focus. Speaking from experience, when you have 3 deals fall apart in the same day, 3 pendings just blow up, without a big why, it's easy to throw in the towel and be like, you know what? Screw this, that Gary Keller guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm gonna go to Toyota and make $20 an hour, you know? But when you're focused on your big why and a bigger picture, it's like, okay, I can recover, I can fix this. I can go out and do my lead generation and talk to more people, to set more appointments, to write more contracts, and to have more closings. It's that simple. Without the big why, wave the white flag, throw in the towel. So it's important to stay in focus with your big why and keep it with you. I recommend carrying it around with you or putting it on your mirror where you can see it at all times.
Screensaver.
Screensaver. Like my screen right now, it says, well, you can't see it now because there's too many notifications, but I want all the listings, right? So that was my mission for this year, was I wanted to get more listings. So now every time I grab my phone, I see it and I'm reminded, hey, get the listing.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot more. So Jones Road comes on today, 339,000. I just did a plug right there. Yeah, open house tomorrow. Never be afraid to plug your own stuff. All right, big why, big because you are after extraordinary results. Nobody's in it to play small. At least I don't run into people in this business very often that want to play small. And why? It's the reason you get up every day and do what you do. If it's big, it's probably because it's important to you. It gets you out of bed every morning, gets you busy, gets you excited, brings you energy, brings you focus. It's your ultimate turbocharger to get things going. Does anybody have a good day every day? Every day? You just wake up motivated, ready to go? I don't know what you would be on in order to be able to do that. But I don't meet very many people that are on whatever it would be in order to wake up like that. So big why keeps you going. And you should incorporate all the people in your life and tie them to your big why as well. And then if they don't fit what you're trying to accomplish, if they're dragging you down, then you need to evaluate how much space you're going to give them in your time and in your life. Answer these questions in your participant guide about the big why for yourself. Oops, sorry guys. What topics or causes are most important to you? What topics or causes are most important to you? For me, like to save the babies, right?
What'd you
Or
say?
save the babies.
Save the babies. Okay. Yeah.
Save the babies.
So, yeah, so
Uh,
see, for me, my grandson is a type 1 diabetic. And so JDRF is huge for me because they're going to find a cure. And in the meantime, you know, I would lay down right now and carve out my pancreas and give it to him if I could. So I am huge with that because he's 5 years old and he's like a beast hero. So that's huge for me. And that's the kind of things that plays in to my big why, is that, you know, donating to those kind of causes, that yes is an option. And those are the kind of things that will fuel your big why too, is getting behind causes like Jody and I, you know, causes that we believe in.
Did somebody say they didn't have one? No. I was just thinking, how do you discover that? It's kind of like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, if you weren't getting paid to do it, what would you be doing?
Yeah.
Right. Or if you're sitting in a room by yourself, what are you thinking about? What's occupying your time? So that's probably what's important to you. Or when's the last time you cried, right? So let me ask you this, answer this in your participant guide as well. What gives you energy and what fuels you personally? What makes you excited, gives you energy?
Dan Taylor.
What'd you say?
Ann Taylor, which my admin deletes all her emails. So I don't get, you know, that's what gives me energy, is Ann Taylor emails.
Tell her not to delete them all so you have something to work off of.
I still get a few slip through. Her and my husband are conniving against me to get rid of the Ann Taylor emails.
What is something that you would do even if you weren't paid? What is something you would do even if you weren't paid? Passion project. Would you?
I gotta hear, no, everybody that's on this is gonna name one thing.
Nice.
I'm going first, just get out of the way, I just want to make other people happy.
Wants to make other people happy.
Which,
Say it again.
doing what?
Doing what?
I mean, I guess really depends on the person. Different situation for everyone.
She's saying showing up for each person differently, how she needs
Okay.
to.
Okay, yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah,
Why is that important to you?
because I'm like some people's
because she doesn't like to see people sad.
I love it.
She made me really think deeply about things and made me connect things. And the reason why I'm like, so people sad is because like I used to.
Yeah. So she's overcome depression, so it's important for her to shine a light for other people.
There's a guy in Louisville, Kentucky that does that. And it's his own happiness project. He and his daughter, who has Down syndrome, that's what they do. Seriously.
What's his name? Do you know?
I have to look up his name, but I follow him on Instagram, and they'll just show up randomly with balloons on your birthday. They'll just show up randomly.
That's cool.
That's what he does.
KW Family Reunion, the keynote presenter,
Mhm.
his name escapes me.
Alcord, Sean Alcord. I've got his name. Sean, was it?
Back to that.
I'll get his name, but yeah,
I was going to recommend to you guys a book from the gentleman that spoke at Family Reunion this past February. He was very amazing. He was talking about the power of positivity and what that does in your daily life and the results that it produces. And he gave several examples in several different industries. And it was very interesting about the psychology of happiness. So I need to find that and I'll post it in Slack.
yeah, I'll find it right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you. In order to have a big life, we must also have a big why. Our big why powers our big life. A great aspect of a big why, it helps you say yes to what's important and no to the things that aren't a part of your big why. My big why is I want to provide the best life possible for my daughters, right? That's what's important to me. What does that look like? For me personally, I figure if I can flip 24 houses a year, if I could sell 100 houses a year while flipping 24, and then buy a rental property in the meantime while wholesaling houses, and then trying to find other businesses to invest in, that'll give me the income that I need in order to provide the life that I want to spend with my daughters. Because like she said, I don't want to be told no. I don't want to have to show up and be at a cubicle for 40 hours a week. I want to spend time with my daughters because once time is gone, it never comes back. And that hit me earlier in life. So now I know to like savor each moment. So that's my personal big why. It's important to have a big why because it's easy to get distracted also. In your normal work day, if you haven't done your lead generation and somebody wants to go have a 2-hour lunch and have margaritas, what do you say? It depends. If the big why is heavy on your mind or in front of your face, it's easy to say no, turn that down and do your job because your big why was supposed to be important. And that's when you'll see whether or not it really is, or if you need to keep self-discovering in order to get to a deeper level to discover what the big why truly is for you to plug into. Did everybody talk about their big why? Does anybody want to share theirs? They didn't.
It's like to be able to do anything with my family. Like if they wanted to take a trip, but like.
Yeah. I'd be the worst NBA basketball player because my entourage would be 120 people deep. If somebody smiles and tells me to have a nice day, I'd be like, okay, you get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Because my kindness is pretty deep. And so especially for my friends and family, I want to make sure they're taken care of. So I can totally relate to that.
So that book is Happiness Advantage by Sean Achor, Achor.
The Happiness Advantage.
I put it in the chat too.
There you go. Thank you, Tammy.
You're welcome.
Um, Leading up to the presentation, everybody's trying to figure out how to pronounce his last name.
I know it looks like should be Achor, but it's Acor.
Yeah.
We all did it at family reunions and nobody could say his name.
All right, so let's talk about AHAs real quick. Did anybody pick up a golden nugget that they can take with them about mindset or preparing for the future? What's one thing that stood out to you, Jaden?
Like not living day by day, like you said, like not everybody has good days every day, and having that big why for that day, so like that moment, that hour. You know, that's why you really, that's.
One more, Courtney.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's just remembering that not every day's gonna be good, but you have a big life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all a little stat about mindset. And I learned this from Diane Kokoska.
Diane Kokoska.
Is a statistic.
You froze just a second.
80%.
Start over.
Can you hear me?
No, we're losing you.
Tell me when you can hear me. Can you hear me
That's a
now?
little better. That's a little bit better. I
Can
think
you
you
hear
did the magic spot. Yep.
Okay. Statistic, psychological statistic. 90% of success is mindset. 10% is skill. True fact,
Thanks.
according to psychology. So that means you can learn anything that you need to learn to be successful in real estate. 90% of it's going to be your mindset. So when you're having a bad day, stop for a minute, take a breath, and tell yourself 90% of this is going to be right here. 10%, I can get on a webinar, I can go talk to Jody, I can talk to Tammy, I can talk to Matt, I can talk to Kellyanne, whomever I need to get with and talk to about what do I need to do skill set to make this better. But 90% of it's going to be right here.
It really is the power of one more, right?
Mhm.
Can you make one more call?
Mhm.
Can you go and do one more door knock?
Yeah.
Can you talk to one more friend? It is the power of one more. I said it the first time that I taught in here. So if you weren't here, you missed it. But by the time agents realize it's mindset, it's probably too late. They're probably on the way out the business. That's how important that it is. 90%, I'd even go 99%, and I can prove it. How do I prove it? If I pull the agent rankings and show it to you, you'll see everybody that sold a house, right? And you can see how many houses they sold and how much production that is. And then I'll let you talk and you can tell me your experience with each of those agents. And what you'll tell me is how bad it was working with them, how bad it was, how bad it was, how bad it was. But you know what? They keep selling houses because they keep showing up. And it doesn't matter how bad you are, you can still do deals while you're getting good.
Mhm.
And then once you're good, it's too late for them. They'll never catch up to you. But because you're self-improving, showing up every day, and you have the mindset that you're gonna do more and learn more, that's how you crush them.
Mhm.
By the time they find out it's mindset, it's often too late. But now you know, so you don't have to be on your way out before you figure it out. It is mindset. It is a totally mindset. Me and Shelly Westendorf, we were like masterminding, same thing. It's mindset. It's like we come in here and we do these trainings, and I don't have a solution for this at all, but this is just me rambling for just a second. Sorry, Tammy. We have these training sessions and we have Ignite, and it teaches you to do these things like the success system, and do your 10 cards, and you make 10 new contacts and you add the 10 people to your database every day, right? And we do these trainings. So one thing that we don't train on quite enough is mindset. How do you stay positive and how do you keep pushing when you're in a slump, when it's hard, when everybody tells you no, when your deals fall apart, or when you're working with a bad co-op agent and the co-op fee is $1,500. They close this next week. I'm happy to get rid of it. But mindset, it's all mindset. It's all mindset. All right. Tammy, thanks for letting me rant. It's all mindset.
You're just fine.
So what is it? What's the key to success? Mindset. Mindset. It wasn't a trick question. Not a trick question at all. It's all mindset. All right, we'll start this day with the importance of running a smart money business. It is our intention that each one of you achieve the goals you set out with and end up being highly successful in this business. Here's a question. Who loves accounting and keeping business books in order? Who likes accounting and bookkeeping? Nobody. What?
I dropped out.
What? I have two. We have three. We have three. This is a record. I've never had three like at any given moment. Like I could add up classes and not come with three. Well, let me say this. You're one of the few. So few agents do. I do not. I hired it out. Now pay attention to what I hired out. You get into business because of other skills. You enjoy working with people and you have great sales skills. Some of you also have great accounting skills. That's perfect. What many people lack are the money management skills. A lot of times it's because they don't know what they don't know. So let's begin with some financial knowledge, and don't worry, you don't need to be an accountant, but if you are, this is probably gonna be pretty easy. And you just need to know who and when to consult with the experts to make sure you stay on track. All right. Who remembers the 6 jobs of the agent? They're on the screen.
Lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments.
Somebody else, go.
Present to buyers and sellers and get it.
Yes,
Show buyers and market sellers.
yes,
Right, negotiate contracts.
yes,
Coordinate the sale to closing.
yes, and manage the money, right? So if it's not one of these 6 things, ask yourself, why am I doing it? Right? If it's not one of these 6 things, ask yourself, why are you doing it? And should it be in your time block? Does everybody know what time blocking is? Okay. Good, 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 good. We learned a lot.
If you don't, I'm teaching a class next month, the 4 Ds of time management,
4 Ds of time management. Next month,
next month.
don't miss it.
Don't miss it. It won't be taught at Joe's bait shop either, so don't bring your cricket box.
That means chirp a lot, right?
Chirp, chirp.
So you're gonna get paid for all the diligent work that you do. You guys turn into great agents and you start making money, then you start making a lot of money. And so you need to learn how to not just transact the business, but how to manage it. And then what to do in order to develop it into big business. And so that's what we're going to deal with today is like how to get you to the next level and make sure you can stay in business by managing the money. Where do your commission dollars go? It's important to remember that getting paid in the real estate industry is different from a salary that you've gotten before. The check you get upon the closing deal is not to be put in your pocket and spent. That's so important. I'm going to read it again, okay? The check you get upon closing a deal is not to be put into your pocket and spent. There will be expenses to pay and the ever-present taxes that must be saved for and paid every quarter. Who remembers where every commission goes? The other agent. They
Market
get
center.
about 50%. Thank you, your market center. What do they get? Company dollar, royalty, right? Keep going. Business expenses, roughly a third to manage the cost of your operational expenses for your business. So what are operating expenses? Signs, car operation, phones, those types of things. Do you guys get phone reimbursement? I didn't think anybody would. That would be unheard of, but just asking. So those types of expenses you can relate to. So don't forget, you have to save and pay for taxes. And then what's left over is what you get to keep. So you don't get a full commission, you get a portion of the commission. An important habit to start right now is to always put money away for your taxes first. There are many stories of highly successful agents who did not have this habit and end up with huge tax bills and penalties to pay at the end of the year. So this is a good time to remind you to take the KW course called Profitability Agent Financials. Is anybody teaching that soon, Tammy? Maybe
I need
not.
to look, I can look at KW Connect, but it is being offered. And it's supposed to be amazing. I have not taken it myself yet.
Okay, it's somewhat of a new course. I think we talked about
It
it.
isn't, it is a brand new course and it's supposed to be like phenomenal. I will throw in here, I run my business by the book Profit First.
Yeah.
And I have for a long time. And
Has anybody heard of Profit First, real quick? Okay, go ahead.
like it's like, whoo, amazing. And so if you haven't read that book, you can read that book, you can take a class according to that book. And I mean, it divides it all up into this. And it is just you'll never worry about any of this stuff being short. And I started at the very beginning running my business per Profit First.
Do you remember the name of the author?
No,
I was gonna see if I can find it real quick so I can.
I've got it right here. Hang on, I got Amazon.
I've got it in my library from where I did the Audible book. Mike McAllowitz. I'll spell that.
Yep. Mhm, yeah.
MICHALOWICZ.
Yeah.
Profit First
And
by Mike McAllowitz.
Yeah, and I read the book and then I took a class, a Profit First class. And it was just absolutely phenomenal.
Highly recommended. Do you want to tell them the concept about it real quick?
So what you do is, I'm gonna make up numbers. So you have 5 accounts. One account all your money comes into, and then you have an account for taxes, and you have an account for operating expenses, and you have an account for an owner profit, and I forget what all mine are named, but anyway, so let's just say you get your commission check, and then what happens is that whatever your split is, so let's say it's 70-30. Well, guess what? You get 70% of that. That's yours. And then the 30% is taken and it's divided up into all these accounts for you. So then, guess what? You want to buy that new computer. Well, if you don't have that money in your operating expense, you're not getting it. You don't get it. And then every quarter, you take half out of that owner account and you bonus yourself. So you take a bonus every quarter. So every quarter you get a little bonus. So that's a little fun money. And so that's where you can go. You can take that money, depending on what you put in there, and you go buy that new laptop or whatever you want to do. You can go, take your wife or husband on vacation. But it tells you what percentage goes in each one. Hang on, I'll tell you. Hang on 1 second.
And while she's looking for that, I'll say another book that follows similar to the same path, The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah.
Richest Man in Babylon. Read that one.
So your accounts are profit account, and owner compensation, what it's called, taxes, operating expense. And so every quarter you pay yourself half of that owner compensation of the owners, and then you pay your expenses on the 5th and the 20th. So you have twice a month you pay your expenses. And so out of that 30%, 5% goes into your profit account. 50% of that 30% goes into your owner compensation. 15% goes into your tax account. 30% goes in your owner expense account. Mhm. Yeah, it's great.
So that's gonna tie into the next slide, like, really quick. So financially sound or financially unsound. So this is two different scenarios for make-believe agent Jessica Campbell. And if there's a real agent with that name, we apologize. So she's getting the check for $9,000 for selling a house. That's her commission. Is the $9,000 commission that Jessica receives profit, or is it income/revenue? Is it profit, or is it income or revenue? I'll let you off the hook. It's income. So it's called GCI, gross commission income. And profit is what's left over after the expenses, like saving for taxes or operating expenses or expenses to grow your business. And it's important to know the difference between what you're keeping at the end that's profit versus the income that you're bringing in at the very beginning. So why is Jessica getting a check for $5,760 out of the 9,000? Does anybody know? So Jessica sold a house and the check from the title company to Keller Williams was 9,000. And then the check from the market center to her was 5,760 because of her cost of sales. When she sold a house, the Keller Williams gets company dollars and she's got to pay her royalty. So that's what's left over. So the money goes into her personal bank account and then she goes and spends it. Is that good or bad? Why? Yeah. And it's a good idea to go ahead and be into the habit of paying your taxes quarterly instead of at the end of the year. Because if you wake up in October and you realize you can get all kinds of great deals on Christmas stuff on Black Friday, and you see all that money sitting there toward the end of the year, you may be tempted to spend it. Or worse, you may not save it all year long, thinking that you're going to pay the taxes at the end of the year and then don't have the money. So it's a good habit to have to pay your taxes quarterly. In the second example up there, Jessica brings in the money. It's reduced after her cost of sales to $5,760. She puts into her business bank account $1,728. That's to run her company, right? So she's going to need more thank you cards because she is following the success system. And so she's got to buy some and she's got to pay for postage. And she's going to send out some emails, right? So she may buy some templates. So she's got operating expenses. And then after her operating expenses, she's got money left over that goes to her personal bank account, $4,000. And then out of that, she saves for her federal and state taxes. Side note, in Owensboro, we also have local taxes too that's paid to the city of Owensboro. And so you'll need a business license from Owensboro, and then you also have to pay taxes to Owensboro. So if you didn't know, now you know. You guys probably already knew that, right? No. All right, so I'll say it one more time. You need to have a business license. You get it at City Hall on 4th Street, across the street from our old KW office. We were at 123 West 4th, and it's the next building. So you'll need a business license. You're welcome. It's better to know it now instead of paying a penalty later. So, but good habits are taught, right? So you get into the mindset of wanting to do the good habits that are going to keep you in business long term, and then you actually execute with what you have. Money is good for the good that it can do. So have a clear understanding of what it takes to make the money, keep the money, and then what the purpose truly was, and that's to do good with the money. So we talked about our big why, right? And so most of it needs to be funded somehow. So money is good for the good that it can do. With profit, you have the money to do the good for your family. So for me today, like rented a condo for 8 of us and go spend time on the beach. That's how I'm spending my money. What are some of the ideas that you have for what you plan to do with the money that you earn? Does anybody have big plans? What?
Real properties around the US. Because those always would be for that market. That's supposed to go.
Yep. Said rental housing around USI. What else? How do you want to use your money? It's not your question.
I want to give a stable future not only to my kids, but to all my nieces and nephews.
You're gonna be the good aunt.
I was just on him on the way back to the office from the coffee shop. I was just like, I told my siblings, there's no more toys. They might get an outfit, but other than that, they're getting Bitcoin stocks, like stuff to save back to get them going.
Nice. They might think you're the crazy aunt for the first 10 years.
They get all like sense.
Yeah. Then the next 10, they're like, thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to share? Yeah. And I encourage you to go ahead and read the books on what you need to do in order to own and operate the rental properties and how to manage them. And the reason is when the opportunity comes, you're ready and you don't miss it. The harder I work, the luckier I get. It's that. The difference between income and profit and how the way you think of it can change the outcome of your business. If you've taken an accounting course, you probably know the formula commonly used to calculate the profit of your business is income minus expenses equals profit. While the formula to calculate profit is important, it is not the model we use to set and track our profit goals each month, each quarter, and each year. Instead, we ask ourselves the following strategic questions in the participant guide. For profit, how much money do I intend to have in my bank account at the end of the year? And for income, how many homes do I need to sell in order to achieve my profit goal? And for expenses, how can I minimize my expenses in order to maximize my net income? So thinking of it this way keeps us focused on profit rather than just income, because it's not what you make, it's what you keep at the end of the day. So we're clear, what does our real estate income come from? So we have listing income, which comes from transactions with sellers, sales income, which comes from transactions with buyers, referral income that comes from agents who pay you a portion of their commission due to the referral you gave them, and leasing income, which comes from the clients that use your services to help them find a property to lease. We don't have a whole lot of co-op income with leases in our market, but in other markets they do. One of the reasons why I love real estate is because there are so many more opportunities to make money, because you can make money with rental property, not just with rental property, but residential houses and apartments and commercial. You can do strip malls, you can do attached malls. You can do wholesaling, you can do flipping, you can flip hotels, you can flip houses, you can flip multi-unit apartment complexes, which is a pretty cool deal, by doing value add services. So there's all kinds of ways to get it. But the more you expose yourself to the opportunities, the more likely you are to take advantage of them when the time comes. I love real estate. Sometimes I feel like I just talk entirely too much. But that's what I'm paid to do today, so. Let's talk about expenses. There are two types of expenses. There's cost of sales and there's operating expenses. Cost of sales expenses occur when you have a transaction that actually gets completed. Operating expenses occur every day in your business and the operation. One second. Sorry about that. Does everybody understand the difference? Cost of sales happens when the transaction happens, and then operating expenses occur every day in the operation of your business. It's important to understand that the cost of being in business with a market center, the cost of sales are company dollar, royalty, any referral fees that are owed to somebody that sends you a referral. If you have employees involved in the transaction, these expenses also. The company dollar the agents pay is determined by each market center and will vary from market center to market center. The royalty that you pay is capped at $3,000, and that's a flat rate that's determined by KWRI, and we all pay that one. And actually, it hasn't changed in 5 years that I know of, or maybe 6 years now. So at some point, that's bound to change, right, Tammy? It just seems cheap at this point.
Say that part again.
At some point, that $3,000 royalty's got to increase, right? It's been that same 3,000 for 6 years.
Gary Keller says it's never gonna increase.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, he says that $3,000 is never going to increase.
Deal.
And I don't know if you know this, but the really cool thing is like spouses selling houses. That it didn't used to be, but like you and I were married, Jody. You paid 3 and I paid 3. But now if you're married, we split one. It's 1,500, 1,500. It's collectively 3. And it used to be, and they changed it. Whereas now at a married couple, you share the 3. And so that's a new thing in the last year, which is amazing.
So the lesson.
So, hey, you single girls and guys out there, get them spouses their license.
For $50, you can get a marriage license that saves you $1,500 in royalty.
Yeah, there you
on the
go.
real estate. I was not paid to say that today. So you also have operating expenses. Those are the expenses that you incur to run your business on a day-to-day basis, whether you earn anything or not. So that's why it's important, because you're not guaranteed to earn income, to try to keep your operating expenses low. So in the beginning, you may not have a lot of money, but you do have a lot of time, right? And then after you've been in business for a lot of years, you may not have a lot of time, but you have the money to use leverage. So while you're new and beginning, take full advantage of your time, because it's free, to make calls, send out notes, and do door knocking, those things to earn the business cheap. That's why I love open houses. They're cheap and buyers literally come to you. And I don't like making phone calls personally. So when they just show up and start looking at the house, I like that free contact. That's my soapbox moment. Just to be clear, when you have no transactions, there are no cost of sales. You're not paying the royalty, you're not paying any company dollar when there's no transaction. However, you do have those day-to-day operating expenses. Operating expenses, rent for your office, if you have to pay it, your auto cost, salaries for any staff that you're paying for, insurance, you do have E&O insurance, professional services, marketing, advertising, equipment, supplies, education, all those operating costs. Best practices. In your participant guide, you'll see the checklist of best practices to have a smart money business. The list is a great way to put yourself on a path that will ensure your financial well-being. You may be able to check off the first item on the list, given your experience now in determining your big why. Go through the list and briefly talk about each of the items, right? So number 1, gain your clarity on your big why and the plans for your future. Set your personal and business budgets. You need to know how much you expect to bring in and how you're going to spend it. It's kind of like goal setting. If you don't have a target that you're aiming at, you're guaranteed not to hit it every time. Same thing. Open additional bank accounts for taxes and expenses, and your other savings. So that's something that you guys should probably do, if not today, Monday, right? Because it is important. And if you don't do it, you're going to forget about it. Download and use the MREA chart of accounts. You can get that in KW Connect, and it tells you how to account for the categories for how you spend your money, and purchase and download tax accounting software, or hire an accountant, CPA, attorney, tax advisor, and set dates to calculate and pay your estimated taxes recommended quarterly, and prepare for your future with insurance, savings, investments, and since you're in real estate, I will lean heavy on the real estate investments and investments. Because if you're the expert in real estate, you should know how to handle that for yourself, right? I feel like the Dave Ramsey of real estate up here today. Talking about money.
I'll read that. You're like getting, you probably need some bottle of water. Okay, so think and act the wage you want before you earn it. Average is as average does, good is as good does, and great is as great does. What you do is who you become. Gary Keller, shift.
I like the last sentence the most. What you do is who you become.
Yep.
Likewise, what you don't do is also who you become also, right? So
Yes.
you'll be determined by what you do, what you don't do.
Yep.
Thank you for giving me that water break.
Okay. Okay. So also you want to revisit your profit, your net income goal. So this is a formula that you can use. Your net income goal is A. B is your company dollar royalty cap, which is approximately 15% of your GCI. C is your business expenses, which is approximately 35% of your GCI, which is your gross commission income. D is your total gross commission income, GCI. A plus B plus C. E is your average commission. And F is your annual transaction goal, which is D divided by E. So.
Yeah. And so if you need to know how much money you want to make for your income, there you go.
Mhm.
Take a picture of that and save it forever, because that's going to be important for you forever.
Yeah, and there's some great formulas
Hopefully.
and charts like this also in the MREA that you can look at that will also help you get super granular on those types of things. And there's some great things in KW Connect, some different documents that you can use. And I mean, you can get granular on exactly how many appointments you need to go on based on how many of those appointments you'll go on, how many you'll take. So you'll know exactly how many people every day you even need to talk to.
And that's why a business planning clinic is my favorite. It happens usually in September, October, November each year. And we do that reverse calculation where we say, okay, I do want to make $200,000 and my average commission is $5,125. How many houses do I need to sell, right? And then I know how many deals fall out, so I know how many I have to put under contract and sell pending. And so I also know how many appointments have to go on, all that. Highly recommend that class.
Yeah. So I'll give you our team hub. So
I lost you for a second. Tammy, come back. She gone. Tammy, you're gone. I'm sure she was gonna make a good point, and that we'll get to hear it in a little bit. Sorry. All right, I'll go move on to the next slide. So that gives you a basic understanding of how your real estate finances are going to work and what you need to do in order to have a smart money business. So I guess everybody here knows how to get paid with using Command and having your opportunities put in and making sure all your documents are in there for compliance. I think everybody in here has admin support. So I'm just going to breeze right. Tammy, you're back. I'm just going to breeze right past that one. I'll say this though, if you have any questions about your commissions or your net commissions after your company dollars paid or your royalty is paid, don't be afraid to ask your team leaders and don't be afraid to ask the MCA, which now is Miss Rachel, now that Jordan's gone. Then also go to answers.kw.com and you'll be able to find information that you need there where other people have asked it. Because chances are it's not the first time that somebody's had the same question that you've had, and it's all out there. Has anybody spent any time looking at KW Connect, by the way? Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And I'd recommend finding like the mastermind panels and stuff like that, where other people have spoke, or the videos of the panels from Family Reunion or Mega Camp. Those are always really great. So it's making sure you know where to find information to help you run a successful business. Any ahas about the income portion, a smart money business? Give me one aha, make me feel good.
I like the idea of reverse, knowing how many phone calls you can make each day.
It is pretty cool that it is basic math.
Mhm.
And that's why it's okay to have a bad day. Because even if the numbers don't work out perfectly, if you keep doing the work, you will get the deal. You could almost, I've never done it. You could probably say, okay, I know if I have this many open houses, I should have this many people come through, and I should sell one house for every 20 open houses I hold. Or I'm going to get 5 new buyer or listing clients from open houses if I do 20 open houses. I love that. Reverse calculating. All right, moving on real quick. Tammy, it looks like you got some signal back. Is there anything you wanted to say before we move forward?
No, I don't think so.
Moving on to the success system for life. You've been spending, or you should have been spending hours doing your success system. And I want to encourage everybody to keep doing all the things that you learned throughout this process. So the reason they have the new agents have a goal of having 10 conversations a day about real estate and giving 10 handwritten notes out each day and adding 10 contacts to the database each day is because it works. It doesn't just work for new agents, it works for all agents. So although it's encouraged in Ignite, and it sounds like not everybody did it, I'd recommend, in order to hit your goals and to fulfill your big why, that you do start today. Because you can't be upset with the results that you didn't get based on the work you didn't do. Does that make sense? You can't be upset with the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. So make it a priority to time block each day and to make lead generation the #1 priority, because it is #1 in the list of 6 jobs that you have to do, and then do it. And then protect that time, because if you don't protect that time to do what you need to be doing, you're not protecting your big why. It's important to have the accountability also. Although it's encouraged to have an accountability partner in Ignite, I would also encourage it all year long. Find out who your accountability partner needs to be to hold you accountable. Yeah, you got everybody. Who's holding him accountable?
Me.
Nice.
Michael C.
So keep each other focused on being positive, remind each other of your big why, which means you do have to share it in order to hold each other accountable to it. And then challenge each other, and don't be afraid to make each other uncomfortable, right? Because if somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, if you're the accountability partner, it's your job to check them. Not to be mean, but to help them so that we can all succeed together. Other forms of accountability, your productivity coach in your market center, and getting a mentor who's ahead of you in the business, and getting a KW Maps coach, and investing in a coach outside of KW Maps. So lots of forms for pushing yourself to the next level. When you choose an accountability partner for the future, choose a partner who is comfortable with providing the discomfort too. That way they really can help you. Accountability isn't always comfortable, and so your partner needs to be willing to make you uncomfortable, and you have to be willing to take that and accept it when they check you on what you didn't do. You may think that you can't afford a coach. However, paying for coaching has proven to be a highly successful way for agents to increase their business. And in the first year, grow faster than other agents that didn't pay for a coach. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add this also. People say they can't afford a coach. I would say you can't afford not to have a coach. So find out if it's gonna be a paid coach or a mentor.
Jody, do you have a coach?
I've got 3.
Yeah, I have 2. Well, I have 2, and then I coach with Matt and Kelly and so also, so
So it's
Yeah.
4.
I have 4.
See, you're ahead of me.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Here's some tools to keep you, and also, right, so like if having a coach is good enough for Amy, if it's good enough for Jody, even though I don't do that very much business.
Oh
it's
my
good-
gosh, really?
It's good enough for you, right?
And I mean, and it's true. Those conversations, everybody's like, oh gosh, that just sounds so exciting. They're not always fun. No, they're not. I mean, I remember, I had when you have a maps, you have this life by design sheet you do. And it's like all these things with the leftover money after all your stuff's paid. What are you gonna do with all your leftover money, Tammy? I'm gonna do this and this and this and this and this. I was not one hit numbers. And my coach said, it's gonna take off your sheet. And I said, well, I'm not gonna take anything off my sheet. He said, okay, well, you and Gary, we're gonna do this and this around the house. Well, you can go home and tell Gary you're taking off the sheet. And I said, I'm not taking anything off the sheet. He goes, yeah, you are, because you're not hitting your numbers. So what are you gonna take off the sheet? I said, I'm not taking anything off the sheet. And he said, yes, you are. So you decide and let me know. You can text me, you can call me, or you can wait till next week to tell me, but you're gonna take something off the sheet, or you're gonna hit your numbers. Well, I'm gonna hit my numbers. Well, how are you gonna hit your numbers? What's your plan? Are you gonna stay up late? You gonna do Saturday and Sunday? What are you gonna do? I said, first I thought, well, first I'm gonna hang up on you and then I'm gonna like flip you off, and then I'm gonna fire you, and then I'm not gonna be accountable to anybody. That was my first thought, because I get a little Italian in me. And then I settled down and I thought, okay, and I said, well, I guess I'm gonna do extra lead generation. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And I hit my numbers and nothing came off my sheet, because I thought, by God, I'm not taking anything off my sheet. But it was an I hate you moment, because he was pushing on me and he was going to take something away from me. But it was not a fun coaching call at all.
And if your accountability sessions are fun, you're probably not doing it right.
Yeah.
It's the hard truth. Because in real life, business is hard.
But I gave him permission to push me and be and have hard conversations with me. And that one was probably one of the hardest he ever had with me. But I just was distracted and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So
You know what would be harder?
taking
out-
something off my list.
No, going out of business altogether.
Yeah.
Oh, you froze up again. All right. Three things to help you stay accountable. She looks so happy frozen like that. Oh. Use a 411. Schedule your priorities by yearly goals, monthly goals, and weekly goals. Look at your 411 daily before doing any other task. If you don't have a 411, you can ask your market center for one. You can ask your team leader for one, or we can have a class on it as well. Use time blocking, schedule your time, and schedule your number one job, the lead generation and lead follow-up. And also read the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. And it helps you stay focused on your big why and doing the one thing to get you there to accomplish it. You'll find the best practices to protect your time and maintain your energy. So what type of accountability will you choose going forward? Just make a little note in your participant guide. Are you going to keep doing the accountability groups or accountability partners? Are you going to use a 411? Are you going to time block? Are you going to read books like The One Thing? It's all up to you on how you show up. Woo. All right, any ahas from the end? It's the last session. Does anybody want to share their favorite aha of all of Ignite? That's deep. If there's any one thing that stood out to you more than anything else. Mindset is key. Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to figure it out. You have a lot of people.
Yeah.
Remember that first.
And people want to help.
Yeah, yeah, especially here.
Yeah. What else? Yeah. Especially when nothing's doing right? Staying positive. All right, Tammy. You were with me
Yes.
for a second.
Am I frozen?
There you go.
Yeah.
Land the plane and end the session for us.
Land the plane and end the session. Okay.
Oh, man.
One of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. Contained within Ignite. I'm a huge card sender. I send tons and tons and tons of cards. I have taken, I don't know how many listings because of cards. Some of them border on stalking, but I send cards. I've taken, took a $300,000 listing on cards only because the lady said this girl doesn't give up. By God, come list my house because you're just not gonna stop. And I'm like, okay. So I believe in handwritten cards. I do just believe in the 10 contacts a day. It's your database, your data bank. I do believe in sweat equity, and Ignite just speaks to me when it comes to that, because Ignite is all about sweat equity and just doing the things. And if you'll just do the things, you will just organically build your business and get business. And that's just the easiest way to say it. If you'll just do the things, it'll happen. And I built my business following everything the MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, said to do. And I still follow it to this day. And I am building my business bigger each year. And I credit the MREA with that. So I just cannot speak highly enough of Ignite and all the different classes that we have at Keller Williams. So I'm just gonna push you towards those things and everything those things tell you to do. So
Thank you. And I will add, enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Not easy to build a business. It's not easy to build a big business, but everybody that's come before you can demonstrate that it is possible, and just enjoy the process. It's okay to have fun while you make money. All right, you guys are done.
all right.
Tammy, thank you.
Thanks, Jody. It's always fun with you.
Always fun. Elite,
Y'all
Excel,
have a
Herba.
great weekend.
Everybody go sell some houses. Have a great weekend.
All righty. Y'all have fun. Bye.
Bye.